Instagram, we are live. YouTube, we are live. I guess not now. Hi peeps, welcome to class. If anything happens to Instagram, jump over to YouTube, which is YouTube MJ Travers. And welcome everybody. Make sure you got all your stuff, whatever you need. Have a space. You don't specifically need a mat. Just have somewhere that it's non-slip, that you can move your arms and legs around. You've got enough room to move. We want a strap today and a couple of blocks. And that is what we need. Now, if you have sensitive knees, grab a blanket or a towel. If you don't have a strap at home, get a really long towel. You can use a towel. It's fine. Or pardon? A belt. Only if you've got a really long belt. That doesn't have to be crazy long, but yeah. So if you guys need to get stuff, go get it now. We'll start in a minute or two. Probably about 2 minutes.
Or your jiu-jitsu belt.
Yeah, if anyone does jits, get your jits belt. Yeah, sensitive knees, blanket. You can use cushions and pillows as well. It's a good way to substitute for a bolster instead. If you don't know what a bolster is, it's like a big cushion type pillow type thing. And it's there to support the body in different poses, more restorative, or you can just use it in Shavasana. And yes, we're going to start in a minute. Hope everybody is having a great day. Going to turn the comments off from Instagram. Again, if anything happens, go over to YouTube, MJ Travers. And just the backup. I'm going to have a backup just in case. All right, so we need the strap straight away. We also need a block straight away. We're going to start lying down on our back. I've got 2 of the boys with me today, Charlie, Scott. What did you do? Charlie just likes to hurt himself. So have the strap handy, or whatever your strap is. I'm just going to say strap. If you've got something else, just pretend it's strap for now. Have at least one block handy. If you don't have a block at home, have a stack of books, cushions, pillows. Have enough so you can prop the pelvis up for when we're going to. We're going to do an assisted stretch through the hip flexor psoas area. So as we lie down, let the eyes close and have the legs just a little wider than the hips. And bring the arms out wide. If you need the hands on the body to help to focus on breath, bring the hands to the low abdomen area, below the navel. So when we bring our body into a neutral position, we work on our nervous system. We tell it it's time to relax, to ground, to bring yourself into presence. There's a lot of chemical changes that happen in the body where we are changing over what chemicals are released, what's processed, what we're trying to get rid of. So right now, we bring the focus into the current area of where we are, whatever space or room that you are in. Just notice what sounds you hear in this space. With the eyes closed, let the eyelids be very, very gently touching so you're not gripping the eyes or pursing the mouth. Let the jaw be at ease. Tongue rests on the upper palate, but without pushing or forcing, just resting. You might have a lot of sounds, a lot of things going on wherever you are. If you do, take that in. Take in the noises, temperature of the room, current state of the body, and any sensations that stand out greatly. With everything here and now. The mind starts to wander. If it starts to think what you've already done today, what you've got to do later today, what you're going to eat after class, etc., etc., bring it back. What are you feeling? Is there anywhere in your physical structure that's standing out, that's telling you to take notice or pay attention? And then bring the focal point even further within into the breath. Let the breath move slowly in and out. Fill up that area beneath the navel. So think of the low abdomen, just at the hips and the low back, that entire ring around the low waist. It expands fully as you breathe in. And then it deflates, everything tones back in towards the navel, towards the spine, being the central point or region. Expand as you fully inhale, relax the jaw and the face. Gently tone in as you exhale, all back into the center. Take a few more breaths and notice the body starting to relax further. Notice the mind again moving back into presence. Every time it goes out, bring it back here. Take one more deep, full inhale breath. Complete, full exhale. Now here we're just going to move the arms first of all. Inhale, lift the arms straight up to the sky. Exhale, arms come straight back behind you to the ground. If you need to widen the arms or bend the elbows a little, you can. Keep the ribs pulling forwards and down. Good. Inhale, arms lift back up to the sky. Exhale, hands forwards and down. Again, inhale, arms lift straight up. Exhale, arms come back. Keep the ribs down. Don't let them fly up or expand. Inhale, arms lift to the sky. Exhale, arms down by your side. Good. Start to bend the knees. Bring the soles of the feet flat to the ground. The feet are about hip width position. Arms still down by your side. Think of rolling the shoulder heads back, so pressing the triceps down into the ground, the forearms down, the palms down, or maybe fists or karate chop the ground. Inhale, bridge pose. Let the pelvis up. Wrap the outer hips up, the inner thighs roll down. Let's move. Exhale, slowly roll the spine and the pelvis to the ground. So think about articulation, each vertebrae touching before the next. Inhale, slowly lift up, bridge pose. Exhale, slowly lower back down. 2 more times. Inhale, slowly lift up. Exhale, slowly articulate the spine down. Notice how the body shifts and changes as you move. Inhale, slowly lift up. And that's just an awareness, something to pay attention to each time you do this. Exhale, slowly lower everything back down. And now this time, inhale, lift the pelvis and the spine up, grab your block, put that under the back of the pelvis and the sacrum. Have it either flat or medium side or whatever you are using. Make sure it's not too high. Put it at the sacrum, which is the bottom of the spine, just at the top of the back of the pelvis. There's a little flat area. It's like a little diamond. It should feel nice and stable. From here, bring the left knee into the chest and interlace the fingers at the front of the shin. You can always bring the hands to the hamstring if that feels better. Extend the right leg forwards, point the right toes away from you. So really think of lengthening the entire front of the right leg. And then if it's comfortable, you might pull the left knee out to the left underarm. And then with the right leg, you might turn it in or out, or you might pivot the right foot a little further to the left side, so it'll take it more into the lateral seat. So you can experiment here, just see what it feels like. Now, another option is to reach the right arm back behind you, so we're increasing that stretch line down the front right side. Keep pointing the right toes away from the knee. Take another full inhale breath. Observe what it feels like through the front of the pelvis and then down the thigh, through the front of the hip. One more full breath in. If you have discomfort, I want you to tuck your tailbone towards the front of the mat. One more full exhale. Slowly release the foot to the ground. Release the arms. Let's bring the right knee in. Interlace the fingers at the right leg. Extend the left leg. Now take the awkward grip. So with the fingers, you'll take each finger over one complete space. So the opposite pointer and forefinger, etc. is on top. That's an awkward grip. And then pull the knee in, maybe out to the underarm. Extend the left leg forwards, point the left toes. You might want to reach the left arm back. Maybe incorporate that banana stretch to the side of the body so the foot might come a little further over to the right. If it doesn't feel good this side, just keep the leg forwards, maybe just turning the leg in and out, moving from the upper thigh bone, the femur. We point the left foot as far forward as we can, as far as it's comfortable for our body. So any injuries, modify, please. Same thing, if it's discomfort, compression, or anything going on at the sacral or low spine area, tailbone tilts forward. So you're going to have to be a little more active in the low back, really pushing the back of the pelvis forwards to the front of the mat. Take 2 more breaths. This time observing what it feels like, front left side. So through the hip flexor, maybe even feeling up through the psoas, maybe through the front of the pelvis. Can you feel where it's connected to the other leg? Full breath in. And then slowly release. Hand, knee, foot, everything down. Bring the soles of the feet flat to the ground. Knees bent. Inhale, lift the pelvis up. Keep the hips lifted into bridge. Remove the block and keep the pelvis lifted. So active bridge pose. Same thing, wrap the outer hips up, inner thighs down. Press into the feet nice and stable and even. Take another full inhale breath. Think of lengthening at the low back, so you're not gripping at the sacrum or low back. Exhale, slowly lower the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time, and then the pelvis. Hug the knees into the chest. Release the sole of the left foot to the ground. So the left knee is bent, sole of the foot is flat to the ground. Grab your strap. So this is a little bit of active work here. So have the strap, hold each end and put out the ball of the right foot. The right foot lifts straight up to the sky. So instead of making a big loop, so I don't often suggest making a loop, I suggest just using the strap as 2 long sides. So lift it up, so grab each side. Yeah. From here, sole of the left foot stays flat. Notice if the left knee is going to want to move. Keep it grounded with the foot flat, the knee pointing straight up. Press the pelvis down even. Walk your arms up the strap so the arms are straight. No bent elbows. Now flex the toes into the face. Pull the strap down. At the same time, I want you to kick your leg forwards, but pull back with the strap. So some resistance, and you might need to bend the knee just a little bit. Yeah. So we don't hyperextend. Keep reaching the arms up. Pull the strap down. So this is kind of what it's like. I want to do both of you guys. Push into me. Try and push me over. So we're going to use the strength as if you're pushing me over. Imagine I'm standing there. So that's what you're going to do. Does that make sense? Scott? Keep your head on the ground. So you're going to push, keep the foot on the ground, keep everything stable so the pelvis is not lifting, Scott. Yes. Like you're trying to push me over as if I'm standing there in front of you. Flex the toes to the face. Keep that going without me there. So you're going to pull it in. Now, relax that kick. Can you bring the leg in just a little bit more? So walk the hands up the strap a tiny bit. It might be a little bit of movement. Okay. We're going to do the same thing. So imagine I'm standing there and I'm pushing on your leg. Kick your leg forwards. I'm pushing on your leg. Try and push me over as if that's what we're using the strap for. If you're not using the strap, you can always just interlace the hands to the back of the leg as well. So kick forwards as much as you can. Flex the toes, push the heels up. Kick forwards even harder. Keep the pelvis even, the left knee still pointed up. Relax the kick of the leg, pull the leg in a little bit further. Good? Now here, we're just going to push the heel straight up, flex the toes in. Bend the knee to the chest. Straighten the leg straight up to the sky. Bend the knee to the chest. Once more, leg straightens. Bend the knee to the chest. Release the right foot to the ground. You guys okay? Okay, we're going to do it the other side. So same thing, your right knee is going to stay still and stable. I don't want to see any wobble legs. Okay, left leg lifts. Put the strap around the ball point of the left foot. Toes flex in, heel pushes up. So you're pushing up through the ball point. Keep the pelvis even. Right knee staying straight up. Okay, we good? Same thing, I'm going to make you guys even. So, imagine I'm standing in front of you. You've got to try and kick me over. Make sure the right knee doesn't roll out to the side. You okay? Yeah, it's not too much. Push down into the right toe. Yes, there you go. That's all I'm going to do. Okay, stop. No, bum stays on the ground. Make sure your bum stays on the ground. Foot stays on the ground. Don't let the right knee roll out. Keep the pelvis on the ground. And relax the kick. Pull the leg in just a little bit more. Keep the leg straight. So the leg, you might walk the hands up the strap just a little bit. Let's say walk your hands up that time.
Super tech.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. You guys okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do it again. I want you to kick as far forward as you can. So use the entire back on the left side of the body. Keep the pelvis even. Keep the right knee pointed up. Push the left heel as far forward as you can, like you're going to dig it as far forward as possible, like you're pushing it through the ground in front. Keep the pelvis even. Pull it in a little bit more, shoulders and head on the ground. Relax the kick of the leg. Maybe walk the hands up a little bit higher on the strap, pulling the leg in a little bit further. Push up through the heel, flex the toes to the face. Push up through the ball point of the foot, think of the calf reaching up through the heel. Take a full inhale. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, bend the knee. Once more, straighten the leg, push it straight up. Exhale, bend the knee. Release the foot to the ground. You guys okay? Okay. Hug the knees to the chest. We're going to do one more thing here on our back. Bring the arms straight up towards the sky. Lift your arms up and bring your knees forwards to a tabletop position. Knees and feet at a hip width. So bring the knees forwards on top of the pelvis. The feet are up in line with the knees. So lift your feet up. Yeah, no, bend the knees. Yeah, feet in line with the knees. Yes. So you'll either flex the toes in or out. I want you to notice what strengthens and connects to the core a bit better. Have the palms facing the knees. Plug the shoulders back into the ground. Your ribs stay in. So think of connecting the ribs down to the front of the pelvis. Extend the right leg forwards as far as you can. Keep control of everything else. Bend the right knee, bring it back. But extend the left leg forwards. Keep everything else nice and stable. Tighten it in. Bend the left knee back. Press the low back down. Now, right arm back as far as it can go. Don't let anything else move. Right arm straight up. Left arm back. Left arm up. We're going to change it now, so please listen. Right leg forwards. Keep the right leg forwards. Take an inhale breath. Left arm back. Keep everything else where it is. Good. Inhale, lift everything back. Left leg forwards. Stay for the inhale. Right arm back, same time. Inhale back to the center. We're going to do it back to movement. Right leg, left arm back. Bring it back to the center. Left leg, right arm, extend. Keep the ribs in. Everything else stays frozen. Back to the center. Right leg, left arm. Exhale back. Left leg, right arm. Exhale back. One more time. Right leg, left arm. Bring it back to the center. Left leg, right arm. Back to the center. Stay for the inhale. Plug the shoulders in. Hug the outer hips. Exhale, knees to the chest. Little rock side to side. Is everybody's core on now? Belly on? Yeah? No? We want to do it again?
Hey.
No. Let's come up now to a tabletop position. Hands and knees. Take your blocks to the top of the mat. You may or may not need them, but it's always handy if they're there, easy to grab. So from here, we'll move through cat and cow. So this is a little bit of exploratory time. As you inhale, you'll come up to cow, lift the chest. And as you exhale, you round for a cat pose to the opposite. Inhale, cow, lift the chest up, lift the tailbone up, so hamstrings lift, collarbones wide. Exhale as you round cat. Option fingertips, it might give the shoulders a little more space. Continue this through cow and cat, and then add on what you need. So that might be big circles of the body. It might be pushing the hips left and right. It might be moving the head around, maybe turning the fingers out. So if you have any wrist things going on, I suggest turning the fingers out, maybe turning the fingers all the way back to the knees. You can do this one hand at a time as well. So we've got a little bit of time to just explore here. Another option is to flip the back of the palms to the ground. So if you imagine if this was a tabletop position, back of my hands will be on the ground. Again, you can do this one hand at a time. So you might not need to do the same thing on each side. Just notice what you feel, notice what the feedback from your physical structure is, and move from that. So move from sense feeling. I think that's really, really important. That's something that I always try and get my students to do. They become more in tune with their body. Take another few breaths. So again, if you haven't yet done something on one side that you need to do, two more. Slow, deep breaths. Now that we're in an upright position as well, you're welcome to start Ujjayi breath if you practice with Ujjayi. That is the yogic breath where you drag the air through the nose into the back of the skull, widening at the back of the throat. It's an audible breath, so if there's someone in the room or the next room, they should be able to hear you breathing. It's like that whisper breath, like Darth Vader. And now tuck the toes forwards, hug the upper arms in, push the ground away, so we're in a neutral spine now. Outer hips hug, triceps hug, biceps are lifted, collarbones wide. Hover the knees off the ground. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, knees down. You can do that, get a bit longer each time. Inhale, hover the knees. Hold for the exhale. Keep the knees lifted, ribs up, collarbones wide. Head stays in line with the spine. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, knees back down. Let's do it again. Inhale, hovering tabletop. Stay on the exhale. Make sure everything is contained. So arms, ribs, hips. Stay for the inhale. If you've got an injury, you don't have to do it. Stay for the exhale. One more inhale. Now, without your hips lifting, keep your hips exactly where they are. Step your right foot back to a high plank, just the right foot. And now the left foot back to the high plank position, full high plank. Good, take a full inhale. Lower yourself all the way to the ground. Let's really strengthen the spine just a little bit more. So the hands under the front of the shoulders. If you have accessibility, you'll draw the hands further back so they're under the elbows. Otherwise, keep them further forwards. Forehead down. Top of the toenails pressing to the ground. Push all 10 toes down. Now, if there's any sacral dysfunction, please widen the feet. So if it's uncomfortable, if there's anything gripping in the sacrum or back of the spine, low spine, you'll widen the feet. Hip width or a bit wider. All 10 toes press down so the knees and the quads start to lift off the ground. Lengthen the tailbone, back towards the heels. Inhale, baby cobra. Pull the chest forwards and up. So chin stays tucked into the throat. The chest lifts. Good. Now we're using the upper back muscles. Lengthen your bum to the back of the heels. Notice if you're gripping your bum, I want you to think of widening your butt smile so the glutes slightly roll out, inner thighs up, All 10 toenails, especially the baby toes, press them down. Take another full inhale. Pull your chest and head forwards away from your bum back away from your head. Stay, one more inhale breath. Exhale, lower the chest back down. Tuck your toes forwards. Hands under the chest at the shoulders. Press the heel bones back so far that the knees lift off the ground. Now suck your navel off the ground. Set the shoulders onto the back of the body. Press up if you can, high plank position, straight line, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Take any movement that you need. You can move the pelvis, you can bend the knees, maybe move the arms, the legs, lift the legs, whatever feels comfortable. So think of the body being in an upside down V position. The tailbone tilts up and back. You can always take a wider stance with the hands or feet, and then notice what's going on with the wrists and the shoulders. With the hands, you might have the fingers together or the fingers spread. Listen to your body, the wrist and the shoulders. Pull the hips further back. Create a tiny little bend in the knees. Good. Now tilt the tailbone up, lift the hamstrings, turn the quads on. Broaden your upper back and push your forearms forwards. Pull your hips back a little further. Yeah. Take another full inhale breath and a full exhale. Inhale, lift your right foot up to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee. Bring your knee forwards in line with your hip. So bring the knee up here, up here, up here. Yeah. Bring it forward, Scott, to my hand. Good. Keep the hips pulling back. And now shift forwards, tap your tricep with your knee. Good. Step the foot outside the right wrist. Lower the back knee to the ground. We'll take just two. Inhale, cow of the spine. Lift the chest up. Use blocks under the hands if you need. Exhale, dome the spine for cat. Keep the bend of the front knee. Pull the pelvis up to the chest. Really rounding as much as you can. Again, inhale, cow. Lift the chest, spread the collarbones. Exhale, round the spine, cat. And let's come back to a neutral spine. Lift the back knee up off the ground. Bring your hands onto the blocks or up onto props if you need. If you don't have the props, you'll just keep a bend in your knee. Start to straighten your front leg. Pull the hips back. So this is a wide, modified pyramid. Back heel is up off the ground, so you're on the tiptoes. Pull your front foot further back. Take a shorter stance. Front foot here. Blocks back as well. Good. Send the pubic bone back. Flex the right toes off the ground. Yeah. And now, if you are rounded, I want you to turn the blocks up taller so the spine is neutral. Lifting the front of the chest, wrapping the outer right hip back. So if you cannot wrap the right hip back, bend the right knee a little bit and slide the right hamstring back. Take a full inhale. Keep the front of the chest lifted up. Exhale, bend the front knee. So we're just going to move back and forwards from that. Inhale, straighten the front leg, option to flex the toes. Exhale, bend the front knee. Again, straighten the front leg, lift the chest. Exhale, bend the front knee. Step forwards into a frog squat. Left foot outside the left wrist now. Hands to heart, elbows to knees. Little sway side to side if that feels comfortable. Pull the pubic bone forwards and up. Shins back. So this way. Yeah, okay? If you need to widen the feet or lift the hips even higher, this might be your frog squat. That's perfectly fine. Good. Can you lift the front of the spine up? Pull the knees out and back. Take a full breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Hips up, head down. Turn the toes forwards. Let's just take a quick ragdoll. Find the arms if it's comfortable. Keep the knees deeply bent. So much that your tummy rests on your face. Little sway if that's comfortable. Your head's just hanging, shoulders relaxed. You can either grab elbows or forearms, interlace the fingers at the back of the head or the low back. Whichever one you do decide to do, remember what the grip is. We'll come here again, we'll be taking the awkward grip, which just means opposite on top. Take one more full inhale breath. Keep the weight further forwards, knees deeply bent. And exhale, release the hands. So here, I want you to make a little square with the arms. Stay folded forwards, but make a square with the arms like the elbows are hanging. Grab opposite elbows. So with the knees deeply bent, we're going to go through the left side first. Bring the left elbow over to the left. Start to bring the right elbow forwards. Keep the knees bent, please, as you stand up. Come all the way down, right elbow first. Bend the knees deeply, left elbow down and forwards. So big circles. Standing all the way up at the top, then bending the knees again. Pause at the center. Let's go back the other way. To the right. Knees bend as you come back down. Pivot through. Lead with the left elbow coming up. Down through the left. Up through the right. Down through the left. Let's pause at the center. Release the arms. Bring the feet to a hip width position. Inhale, lift halfway, fingers on the shins, option fingers on blocks. Pull the chest forwards and up, so more of a neutral spine, good. Lift the hamstrings up to the glutes, lean forward so the shin bones point straight up. Good, push the calves forwards, keep the heels on the ground. Take another full inhale breath. Hug your outer hips in even tighter. From here, inhale, stand up to mountain pose, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, mountain, Urdhva Hastasana, arms lift all the way up. And exhale, flying chair. Bend the knees, fly the arms back behind you. So the knees bent, we do this a little bit. Please be careful if you have any ankle injuries. So with the arms back, I want you to bring the knees as far forwards in front of the toes as they can go. Keep the heels down. Pry the knees apart. And now the opposite, reaching chair. The arms come forwards, pull the knees back behind the toes. Sit your bum down, chest up. Fly the arms back, knees forwards. Good, heels stay down. Arms forwards, knees back. Once more, arms back, knees forwards. Arms forwards, knees back. Good. Inhale, arms lift up to the sky, chair pose, keep the bend. And exhale, forward fold. Keep the bend of the knees as you tip down. Good. Inhale, lift halfway. Fingers to shins, lift the chest up. Exhale, low lunge. Step your left foot back, lower the knee. Inhale, crescent moon. Lift your arms up. And now exhale, goal post the arms. Pull the pelvis back so the hips are back on top of the left knee, tailbone down. Good. Inhale, arms lift straight back up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the ground, tuck the back toes. Inhale, lift the back knee, three-legged dog, right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg straight up to the sky. Good, now let's bend our left knee, bring it out to the side, bring it forwards. Yeah, but keep the hips back, so we're still in a downward facing dog, okay? Yeah, good. Keep the hips pulling back, pushing the right thigh back. Now lunge forwards, bring the left knee to tap the left tricep. Stay forward, step the left foot outside the left wrist. Nice. Nice work. And now lower the knee, grab the blocks. If you need, sorry, I should have said if you need, we're going to move through cow and cat of the spine, just twice. Inhale, cow, lift the chest. So the hands are on the inside of the left leg. Exhale as you round the spine. Cat pose, keep the knee pointed forwards on top of the heel bone, but dome the spine. Inhale, lift up for cow in the lunge. Good, so just moving the spine as we have a different leg position. Exhale as we round now, pull the pelvis forwards to the face. Now let's come back to a neutral spine. Lift the back knee up off the ground. Toes are tucked. So make sure the stance is not too long. If you need to hop the back foot in just a little bit. Now let's straighten the front leg. Come high onto the back tiptoes. Take the blocks with you. So this is a wide, modified pyramid. So hands are still on the inside of the left leg. Flex the left toes to the face. Press the right thigh bone back behind you and lift the front of the chest up. So if you need, keep the left toes down. Good. Think of wrapping the outer left hamstring back. So if you need to bend the left knee to access that, please do. Lift the front of the chest up. Exhale, bend the front knee. Couple of times moving in and out. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend the front knee. Bring the left foot forwards. Good. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Pull the chest forwards and up. Exhale, bend the front knee. Step the right foot forwards outside the right wrist or block. Again, frog squat, the same. Your hips might be nice and high. This might be where you are in frog squat. Hands might be at heart. Breathing, lifting the front of the chest up. Pull the knees wide. Use your bum to really support you here. Take a full breath in. Exhale, ragdoll. Again, tip forwards and down. Bum up, head down. Bend the knees, keep the feet wide. Let the tummy rest. Might be feeling a little more space in the body now. So here, take the awkward bind. So if you grab forearms before, opposite forearm on top. If you interlace the fingers, opposite fingers on top. Let everything hang down. Bringing the weight all the way into the front of the shins without gripping at the toes. Just keep them heavy and stable. Take one more inhale. And one more exhale. Release the hands down. Bring the feet to a hip width position. Let's come to a halfway lift. Little bend of the knees, fingertips onto the shins, lift the front of the chest. So tabletop back, neutral spine. Pull your head forwards away from your bum. Lift your hamstrings up. Good. Now shift forwards, pushing the calves forwards into the fingertips. Take a full inhale. Hug the outer hips in on the exhale. Keep the heels pressing down. Inhale, come up to mountain pose. Arms to the sky. Straight legs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, arms straight up to the sky. Exhale, flying chair. Bend the knees, fly the arms back behind you. Knees forwards in front of the toes. Heels down. Inhale, reaching chair. Slide the knees back, arms forwards. Keep the chest lifted. Good. Knees forwards, arms fly back. Pry the knees apart. Heels down. Again, knees back, arms forwards. Ribs up and in, chest up. Last one, arms back, knees forwards. Stay here, inhale, chair. Arms lift to the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Keep the bend of the knees as you tip down, then lift the hips. Inhale, lift halfway. Fingers to shins, lift the chest, extend the spine. Exhale, low lunge. Step the right foot back to the back of the mat. Lower the knee. Pull the pelvis back. Inhale, crescent moon. Arms to the sky. Point the left knee forwards. Tailbone down. Exhale, goalpost the arms. Good. Lengthen the tailbone to the back of the right knee. Inhale, lift the arms to the sky. Wrap the left hip down. Exhale, hands to the ground. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left leg behind. Downward facing dog. Take a full inhale. Look forwards. Come up onto the tiptoes. If you can, jump your feet outside of the wrists or the blocks. If not, step them there. Yeah. Frog squat. Nice. That's all right. The more you practice it, the more your body understands what to do, right? Take a full inhale. We'll only do this once today. Full exhale. Arms are either forwards or lifted. Push the knees out. Hug your butt cheek up. Let's stand up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift the arms. Bring the left hand down to the left leg. Right arm reaches over. Side body stretch. Push the hips right. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, right hand down. Left arm over. Push the hips to the left. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, hands to heart, samasthi to hip. To the center, feet to hip width position. Take a deep inhale breath. Option for an open mouth exhale. Inhale, chair pose, arms lifted. Exhale, hands to hips. Grip your hips, your hands stay on your hips here. Inhale, let's stand up and lift your left leg. Yeah, standing, sorry, I should stand. Bring the left knee across the body without the pelvis moving. So it might only move an inch, keep the foot beneath the knee. Inhale, back to the center. Now, if your pelvis is moving, option to bend the right knee. Exhale, open the left knee to the left side. Keep the hips again square forwards. Inhale, bend the right knee. We've already done this a few weeks ago. Start to reach the left leg all the way back. We will step back to a warrior two legs. So left toes angled in, right toes point forwards. Bend your right knee, hands on the hips. Notice where the hips are. So is the left hip or the right hip higher? Can you bring them to an even position? Track your right knee open. Good, hugging your right butt cheek up. Push your left thigh bone back. Now, our pelvis is not flat to the side. The left hip will be turned in slightly. We're not Barbies, we're not Ken dolls. Left hip turns in, but we reach the upper left thigh bone towards the pelvis. So yeah, left hip turned in, right knee tracks open. Have your feet at least heel to heel or wider position. Take a slightly wider stance. Good, reach the arms out wide, plug the shoulders into the sockets. Palms face down. Left hand to the back thigh. Straighten your right arms. Exhale, hands to the ground. Step to the front of the mat. Keep the back toes up, unless it's pain. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Lift the arms, bend the knees. Exhale, hands to the hips. Use the hands to stabilize. So this is like, again, a little security blanket if you took the last class. Security deposit. Inhale, we stand up. The right leg comes with us. Maybe a tiny bend in the left knee. Keep the pelvis square. Exhale, knee comes across the body without the hips moving. Take an inhale breath. Bend the left knee. And slowly step the right foot to the back of the mat. Again, set up for warrior two. So right toes angled in, left toes point forwards. The foot's a little bit wider than heel to heel, the feet up. Bring the hands to the hips. Find the hips at an even position, left and right side. So right toes turn in towards, a little bit more. But bring your right foot further this way. Yeah, now turn the toes in a little bit more. Even more. Yeah, yes, like that. So again, the right hip is going to be turned in. If you're more narrow in the pelvis, it might be turned in even more. Back foot turned in even more. Track the left knee open. So think of pointing your left knee over the middle toe. If you can, bend the front knee. Yeah, even more if possible. So the knee's on top of the ankle bone. Yes. Now lift the front of the pelvis up. Hug your left butt cheek in. Press the right thigh bone back. Reach the arms out wide. Pull the ribs into the back of the body. Good, keep sealing the outer right foot down. Keep the legs as they are. Reverse warrior, left arm lifts to the sky, right hand to the back leg. Keep the left knee tracking open. Exhale, hands to the ground, step to the top of the mat with control, forward fold. Good, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, squat and curl. Let's come down to a little ball on the tips of the toes, forehead into the knees. Rounding down. Push the shins forwards and up. Option to balance, closing the eyes, lifting the hands. You have another balance that you would like to work with. Crow pose, that will be knees on the back of the triceps. Try and bring the knees up as high as they can go into the back of the underarms. And if you can, we work towards a straight arm crow, which is arms straight, knees onto the back of the triceps. Yeah, try and bring the knees in closer. Yeah. Take one more full inhale breath. Let's come back. Exhale, forward fold. At the top of the mat, inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands to hips. So a little different, slight changes. Inhale, stand up, left leg comes with you. Little bend of the right knee. Exhale, open the left knee. Inhale, lift the right hand to the sky, bend the right knee. Start to bring the left leg back. On the bottom of the exhale, we land in warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, right arm lifts up. Keep the right knee tracking open. Exhale, hands to the ground, step to the top of the mat, pulling the right hip back to access that. Inhale, chair pose. Might as well do the other side too. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, we stand up, right leg lifts, pelvis stays square. This time, exhale, we open the knee, bend the left knee. Inhale, lift the left arm, keep the left knee bent as you start to pivot at the pelvis. At the bottom of the exhale, right leg comes back, warrior two. Keep the legs, inhale, reverse warrior, left arm to the sky. Exhale, hands to the ground, pull the left hip back to step the right foot forwards. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, squat and curl, tiny little ball. Again, same option. You can balance here if it feels good. Maybe moving into crane or crow. You can always, if you have blocks as well, you can use the blocks to balance with the hands on the blocks. It will give you something a little more to focus on. About 6 breaths. So think of hugging the upper arms in, the ribs in. If you're in a flying frog, flex the toes out to the side. Yeah. If you're in crow, knees on the back of the triceps, you'll cross the toes and try and lift your feet up to your bum. 2 more. The balance for you might just be closing the eyes in a little ball. 1 more full inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Top of the mat. Make sure your blocks are at the top of the mat, please. Little difference here. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, we stand up, left leg lifts. Please bend the right knee. Exhale, we open the hip. Inhale, lift the right hand to the sky. So this is a little different here. Please keep both knees bent in this transition as we move into a, excuse me, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Both knees are bent. Right arm reaches as far forward as you can go. Left leg starts to extend back. Right hand will come down either onto the ground or onto a block. Option to reach the left hand to the sky. Keep the right toes pointed forwards. If the right knee's rolled in, bend the knee, wrap the right hip back, and start to kick the back wall with the left leg, pulling the ribs in. Option with the left hand to reach up, pull both shoulders back. Take another full inhale breath. And a full exhale. Keep the right big toe pressing, right glute hugging in. Again, 1 more inhale breath. Bend the right knee. Start to reach the chest forwards. As you step back, warrior two is where we land. Back to that little flow. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands to the ground, step forwards, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, arms lift. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, right leg lifts as you stand. Keep the left knee bent. Exhale, right knee opens. Left hand lifts to the sky. Again, both knees stay bent in this transition. Reach up as high as you can go. Start to hinge at the pelvis. Reach the left arm forwards. When it cannot reach any further, left hand to the ground. Start to extend the right leg back. Option to put a block under the left hand will be slightly out in a diagonal from the left baby toe. Have an option now to reach the right hand to the sky. So keep hugging the outer left hip back. Again, if the left knee rolls in, bend the left knee, wrap the left hip back. Start to hug the ribs in. Again, kick your right leg back as far as you can. Turn the chest towards the sky onto the right hand. Left big toe presses, left butt cheek comes in. 2 more breaths. Find your focus, keep lifting the left hamstring up. 1 more inhale. Start to bend the left knee, reach the right leg all the way back, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior, left arm reaches, right leg straight. Exhale, hands to the ground, step forwards, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, squat and curl. Tiny, tiny ball. Again, you can balance with or without the blocks, or just closing the eyes. That was a good exit. I like that. It was good.
Good.
We'll take 2 more breaths. One more full inhale. And now bring your bum to the ground. Have a seat. You guys feel okay?
Yeah.
Soles of the feet together, exactly where you're going. If you need to sit up on a block, please do it. So we did a little bit of this work in the previous class. I'll sit down and do it as well. So it's the stuff where we were pull everything in. Scott's really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
So the soles of the feet are together, maybe peace fingers around the big toes or hands hooked around the ankles of the feet. So this is a little bit like you are pulling the body into one another, and then as you release, you're pushing it apart. So when we lift the chest up, it's not just lifting up easily, we are forcing the legs down and the chest up. Hopefully that makes sense. We're trying to squeeze the gap, then we're pushing it apart. So it's magnetizing in and then repelling one another. Nah, knees stay up and down as much as you can. So if you think of pulling the inner shin bones up, so the knees wrap out. Make sense? Okay. Take a full inhale breath. Try and keep your spine as neutral as possible so we're not going into rounding flexion. On the exhale, pull the shins up, pull the chest down. Inhale, push the shins down, lift the chest. Slowly bring everything in. Inhale as you lift, push the outer knees down, lift the chest up. Exhale, pull the feet to the face, chest to the feet. Again, push everything away from one another. Legs down, chest up. Exhale, pull the legs up, pull the chest down. Might be going a little further each time. 2 more times. Legs down, chest up. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, push the knees down, lift the chest. Bring the knees in towards one another. Roll down onto your back. Like the knees to the chest. Take a little rock side to side. Cross your right ankle on your left thigh, interlace the fingers of the left leg. Little rock side to side if that's comfortable. Flex the right toes to the right shin. Option to lift your left leg up to the sky. 1 more inhale. Let's swap it over the other side. Left ankle, right thigh. Awkward finger grip around the right leg at the shin or hamstring. Option to lift the left leg straight up. So figure 4, we're at figure 4. Just the ankle on top of the thigh. Figure 4, cross the right ankle on top of the thigh. Yeah. How are you feeling, you guys? Option to lift the leg that's not figure 4. Take another full inhale breath. Flex the left toes to the shin. And then exhale, release. Hug the knees to the chest. Let's now release into our resting pose of Shavasana, arms and legs wide. Palms can face up. If you would like to put the blocks under the back of the knees, place them there for support. You're welcome to place a hand towel over the eyes if that's comfortable. A blanket over the abdomen. If you do have a bolster or cushions, put them under the knees. It feels quite comfortable. Let go of any breath control. Let the body fully surrender here. Allow yourself to go. Again, moving back into awareness of what's around you. What do you hear in the current room or place, wherever you are? What do you hear outside of where you are? Noises that are closer and further away. What do you feel in the body? Is there anything else that stands out? Your thought patterns different, calmer, through the energy layers. I highly suggest staying right here. It's been quite a short amount of time. Instagram does cut us off at the hour mark, so hopefully you can just stay, turn this off, your mind and body surrender. If you are ready to move back into this evening, deepen your breath, move your body. Fingers, toes first, let the movements grow. So maybe you can take a stretch or bring the legs in, maybe even roll onto a side that's comfortable. And as you're ready, bring yourself up to a seated position. You're welcome to sit up on your props if that feels comfortable. Hands can be on the legs, the lap, the heart, whatever feels natural. I always suggest that, eyes open or closed. Think of one thing that you're truly grateful for right now. Internal, external, object, person, place, relationship, etc. Think of one person that you could reach out to and give a little gratitude message to once you finish this class. Someone that you've been meaning to reach out to, just checking on them, etc. Please have them in your mind until you can get to your phone or whatever it is. Let's bring our hands now through prayer. Thumbs come to the third eye, area between the brows. Let's bow in gratitude. Thank you guys. Namaste. Thank you. I'm going to stop Instagram because it's going to cut off and we don't want to miss and lose this. Please give me comments, feedback, anything that you might have. My Instagram is MJ's Yoga. My YouTube, if you want to go and do this again, it's at MJ's Yoga. It'll be available on Instagram for the next 24 hours. Thank you, guys. And YouTube, this will be up here. Please, comments, feedback, anything. I would love it if you could subscribe or share this to someone else so they could subscribe. Please, that would be amazing. Have an amazing rest of your day, guys. Mwah.